This is very magazine. Observe video will show no Nigeria billionaire got arrested in Ghana. Gidi kosono. Observe ni nyina say sa Nigeria billionaire no obesi in Ghana. Omuso ye businessman obesi in Ghana. To extend onwa watini security, onwa army, o police car, motos, bibi Ghana ayi security service go no obi. Timiti onwa security, timiti onwa army, ni fio. Mutimi protect ne bibia. Abusia ni nyina ne say around Jubilee House side no. Like ni fio honum. Ni fio was outside now or down back 8. Name open extra keys to that sa fio no in sa property no. Tasako and the designer and omuno ye ni diamond the keys are open and almost fan man enti wa block kwan no with cars bebre omo bi nko omo bi mbanso to extend say wanya ni keys na ombie kwan no omo kire say Ibrahim Mahama ne dan kura wo ho mpanyifo bebre efie wo ho no akwa no timi block kwan no utimi bagana aba block Ghana kwan oso omo obi nko omo obi mba until wonya ni safo ni extra keys to the property no awsia ana Ghana Police Service Ghana Police Service, that's BNI, let's assume BNI, Ghana's national security ekopiem ho omo try to arrest akwano awsia anuntina sa gidigidi ekoso no omo ntimi akwano security no asa omo didi ayeti se omo yakaseti se este one thing about Ghana Police Service esa wo ho omo abebiri no dudu no ahun so omo didi o you don't know asa omo munye dusa ba akwano security tumu no ne bati ba akukra otumu woni pa 5 akutu baby awusha omo try mo best to arrest the guy but sa Nigeria businessman but the security for so omo makwai ana omo call for reinforcement and the reinforcement by non omo manager no ka say they're able to arrest him and some of his bodyguards. Abusha yanti information national security edia tuja.
Why is this Nigerian businessman Ben Peters under arrest?
So good afternoon and good afternoon to our cherished listeners and my brother at the other side. What's happening is that this morning around 9 a.m. We received a distress call from the apartment, which is about 800 meters from the Jubilee House, Nora apartment, you know, the 37 vicinity where the Ghana Water Company is.
Right.
We dispatched police officers to go there and only to receive a report that there are a couple of young men dressed in black suit, armed to the teeth, have blocked the entrance of the apartment with about 20 vehicles. They won't allow anybody to go in. They won't allow anybody to come out. So I actually followed up myself. They would not budge. And all of it was at the command of businessman Benedict Peters, who claimed that the apartment, the residence is owned by Tasako, and that they have failed to give him multiple keys to a number of apartments numbering up to about 8 he owns on that building.
Right.
That is why he has blocked the place. So we ransacked all the boys, picked them up. We requested that since he has blocked, roadblock is a crime.
Right.
The police should take him to the police station. He refused. We're told that anybody who comes up, he will fire a weapon. And so we called for reinforcement. We managed to arrest him, and he's been sent to police regional CID for further interrogation. This same individual, we found him owning a number of vehicles using police siren. You all know that siren vehicles are not allowed for private individuals in this country.
Right.
He owned a number of pickups with floodlights, sirens, and all of that. He's running a team of police, a team of security individuals. And you also know that you cannot run a security organization in this country if you are not permitted by the Minister of Interior.
Right.
And then we found in his possession a number of SUVs unregistered, numbering about 20, Escalade vehicles, very expensive, high-class vehicles, and a police motorcade, of which a number plate was not on it. All of these evidences have been given to the police for further interrogation.
So let's start one by one. So first of all, you encountered some men dressed in black holding weapons. Are they state security officials, private individuals?
These guys were not, on our interrogation, are not state officials. They are Benedict Peter's personal security guards.
And they are holding weapons?
These were concealed threats. I have not seen a gun, but they told the officers that if they came in, they were going to fire. And that was what caught our attention. And this was just in close proximity with the Jubilee House. And so we went there, and truly the guys were there, numbering about 60 to 70 of them. I mean, the whole place was flooded by his voice, all dressed in coat, black suit, and white inner shirt, with pickups yielding sirens and floodlights. And that is when our worry became very intensified. And truly we found a number of things, under his under park of the building where they park the vehicles, including the motorcade. And I was wondering why a private individual would be this powerful in our country, rubbish our laws, does what they want, render citizens helpless, and actually keep them at rampage. It's unlawful. And so he's been handed over to the police for further interrogation.
What about the men you met holding weapons?
We've ransacked all of them.
So they also arrested as well?
Yes, we ransacked all of them. Okay. They were arrested.
So apart from the vehicles you found in the premises, you say he was also keeping certain items. Which other items did you uncover?
Apart from the vehicles in the compound, we found a number of SUVs, sophisticated SUVs, without number plates, unregistered vehicles, and then a police motorcade. So all of these will be investigated by the police. Why a motorcade was parked at that residence, at that garage.
And are you able to tell whether a police officer was involved since you came across a police motorcade?
We did not find a police officer or any regular or official officer in this matter. They were all private young men. His own built-up army of young men. He equipped them with vehicles. The vehicles all have floodlights and sirens. And so that was surprising. And I'm wondering if he runs a private security company. Even if you do, would you have the right to deploy such young men to, block a road, block an entire building at the expense of other Ghanaians and diplomats who live in that particular building? Only because the owners or the managers of the residents have not given you keys. And that is all it is, keys. And so we have asked the police to invite the managers or the owners of the residence for investigation to ascertain why we got to this level of disruption.
All right. So how many people have been arrested?
A number of them, about 20 of them or 25 of them. Benedict Peters himself and another white man who we found in his room, his apartment. When we got there, we were able to get into the apartment. Okay. All of them have been taken to the regional police.
This Ben Peters, do you know his occupation, what exactly he's doing in Ghana?
Allegedly, this is the man that President Akufo-Addo used to run the COVID deal. You remember the man who ran the office, the COVID infrastructure that everybody was paying to him.
Are you making reference to Frontiers?
That is Benedict Peters. Yes, that is Benedict Peters. So a number of these cases are already pending, only for him to, out of impunity, get to this level. And I think that we shouldn't run a country where foreigners take all of us for granted, and you can hold a whole infrastructure of residents to ransom only because you label yourself a big man. This is not Akufo-Addo's regime. This is a new regime where the law will work. Number one, as a private individual, you do not have the right to run an organized police or an organized security group without approval from state security. Also because you are a foreigner. Number two, you do not have the right to run vehicles with sirens and police floodlights on them. Number three, you don't have the right to roadblock, deny access to an apartment when you know that it's a commercial place, and it is not the case that you are the only individual living there, but many other people, including diplomats. In fact, the husband of the Spanish ambassador was almost crying. All of them cannot go into their house, and that happened close to 3 hours. You know.
But Mustafa, this clearly falls in the region of a civil matter between occupants of an estate and somebody who claims to also own part of the estate. And I'm wondering why a whole national security will get involved, and then with people like yourself, even the Jubilee House, to get involved. The police could have easily handled this matter.
National security came subsequently. I was there myself. National security came subsequently. Initially, a team of police officers were deployed to the place. When they met the huge number of his bodyguards or his security team, they called for reinforcement. Reinforcement came from Greater Accra. And then Benedict Peter was hiding in one of the apartments. He would never come out. So they had to search for him. And so reinforcement came. By the time National Security got there, he was arrested and taken away. So National Security would then come and, impound all the vehicles we've seen there and do some investigation also to ascertain whether or not there are documents to it, tax have been paid and all of that. And so to the extent that you have a private matter with other people, it's not enough to roadblock access to other citizens to an apartment. Number two, it is not enough to raise a team or an army of a security team without lawfully being licensed or permitted by the state. You are aware that even in our own country, you cannot run sirens as private individuals.
Right.
So how is it the case that you have all these sirens to the extent of a motorcade in your apartment?
So the media reports also suggest that Mr. Peters went into hiding and refused arrest until the president's brother, Ibrahim Mahama, showed up at the scene.
That is not true. He refused arrest. He went into hiding. We looked for him, found him, brought him down before Mr. Ibrahim Mahama arrived. He was also alarmed when he heard of the disruptions going on because he's a resident.
Mr.
Ibrahim Mahama didn't come there
estate.
to... Say that again.
Mr. Ibrahim Mahama is a resident of this estate.
Yes. And so when I also spoke, a couple of individuals also called me because they heard I was there to find out what was going on, only to hear the story. And all of them are unfounded.
So it's not the case that Mr. Ibrahim Mahama presence got him to leave his hiding place and then subsequently he was arrested?
Well, at the end of the day, the suspect is arrested. The police managed to arrest him. We got him, we brought him down, and then subsequently he was taken to regional police. In fact, the regional police commander also arrived even after the men had been able to successfully arrest him.
Okay.
There was no abuse, there was no any differences. Respectfully, we arrested him. I told him that, look, you have to hand yourself over to the police, go with them and make a statement, and then the police will take over from there. At the end of the day, he knows he's broken the law.
Final question will be, you say that this is the same person you've been looking for until this matter came up this morning. Is he also involved in other cases of national interest? No,
I'm just saying that this is a man who, have, in collusion with President Akufo-Addo and his people, squandered COVID money. You are aware. All of us have been aware. Frontiers, the Popular Frontiers matter is Benedict Peters. And so that same impunity would be what will lead to the extent that you can run an institution as if you are a president in another man's country. You know, you build an army without authorization. So we sit here and people breed terrorists and terrorism with their, privately acquired wealth to undermine our national security interests and do what exactly they want to do without respect to our laws.
All right.
He cannot do this in Nigeria.
All right.
He can't.
So now this
Benedict can't do this in Nigeria.
So now this is a matter for the police to continue with an investigation and possibly.
It's a clear matter for the police to deal with. National security would also have to collaborate with other security agencies to impound all the other vehicles that were seen for further investigation to ascertain whether they came into the country legitimately and that the taxes have been paid or not. All these things will have to be done.
All right, Mr. Wabande, thank you so much.